Philippines accuses Chinese Coast Guard of barbaric behavior. Biden meets with Zelenskyy in Paris. South Korean troops fire warning shots at North Korea soldiers. Hundreds of caged animals killed in fire at Bangkok market. Singapore Airlines offers compensation to passengers. Norway discovers Europe's largest deposit of rare earth metals.
Hello, I'm Kato. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Wednesday, June 12th, and here are your top stories. The Philippine Coast Guard on Friday accused its Chinese counterpart of blocking efforts to evacuate a sick member of its armed forces in the South China Sea, calling its actions barbaric and inhumane. Last month, a Philippine Marine guarding the BRP Sierra Madre at the disputed Second Thomas Shoal, where there have been repeated confrontations with China, was involved in an incident. Coast Guard spokesperson Jay Tariella said the Coast Guard and the Navy boats were harassed by Chinese vessels, despite having informed them the operation was of a medical nature.
Tariella said in a statement, "The barbaric and inhumane behavior displayed by the China Coast Guard has no place in our society." Philippine military chief Romeo Brawner said Tuesday that the first attempt to transport the sick soldier to the western province of Palawan failed after they were blocked by the Chinese. Another attempt was made the next day with the help of the Philippine Coast Guard, and the soldier was successfully evacuated. China claims almost the entire South China Sea, a conduit for more than $3 trillion in annual ship commerce, and has deployed hundreds of Coast Guard vessels as far as 600 miles off its mainland to police what it says is its jurisdiction. The Philippines and China have sparred repeated LY this past year near disputed features that fall in Manila's exclusive economic zone.
President Joe Biden met with the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelenskyy in Paris on Friday as the United States clashes with Kiev and the Kremlin over supplies of American weapons. Biden offered a first public apology for the months-long delay in U.S. military aid that Russia has exploited to make crucial battlefield advances. He also announced a new package of $225 million in weapons, including air defense interceptors, artillery ammunition, and other critical capabilities. Biden told Zelenskyy, "I assure you, the United States will stand with you. We are still in completely."
The meeting in the French capital comes as Kyiv's military is under pressure from a new Russian offensive in the north and intense attacks in the east, a perilous moment that saw its allies let Ukraine conduct some strikes inside Russia using Western weapons. Biden and Zelenskyy met at the White House in December, when the Ukrainian leader came to lobby Congress to approve new military aid for his struggling troops on the front lines. But Kyiv has grown frustrated by the pace of military assistance and continued limits on its use of the weapons once received. French President Emmanuel Macron, who is hosting the two leaders, gave Kyiv his boost on Thursday. He announced that France will provide its Mirage combat aircraft and train a brigade of Ukrainian soldiers, though details were not immediately clear.
South Korea's military said Tuesday that their soldiers fired warning shots after North Korean troops briefly violated the tense border earlier this week, as the rivals are embroiled in Cold War-style campaigns like balloon launches and propaganda broadcasts. Bloodshed and violent confrontations have occasionally occurred at the Korea's heavily fortified border called the Demilitarized Zone. Despite simmering tensions between the two Koreas, observers believe Sunday's border incident won't escalate into further animosity, as South Korea considered the intrusion unintentional and North Korea did not return fire.
South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said some North Korean soldiers who were engaged in unspecified work on the northern side of the border crossed the military demarcation line that bisects the two countries. Those North Korean soldiers carrying construction tools, some of them armed, immediately returned to their territory after South Korea's military fired warning shots and issued warning broadcasts. It said North Korea had not conducted any other suspicious activities. Joint Chiefs of Staff spokesperson Lee Sung-joon told reporters that South Korea's military has assessed that the North Korean soldiers did not appear to have intentionally crossed the border because the site is a wooded area and MDL signs there were not clearly visible.
Hundreds of caged animals died Tuesday after a fire struck Chatuchak Weekend Market, one of the most famous markets in Thailand's capital. The fire was reported early in the morning and quickly swept across at least 100 shops in the market's section. Officials said it took them about an hour to bring the fire under control. There are no reports of human casualties, but Thai media reports suggested that the fire killed several hundred animals, including puppies, fish, snakes, birds, and rabbits, kept in cages and locked inside the shops.
Bangkok Governor Chadchart Sitapant said the cause of the fire is being investigated. He visited the scene after the fire was put out. Officials could be seen at the site in the morning, inspecting the charred shops or breaking metal gates to bring out animals that survived the fire. Officials said they are still working on estimating the cost of damage and that affected shop owners could register for compensation. The sprawling weekend market is a major tourist draw, bringing in shoppers worldwide to browse its hundreds of shops and stalls for items ranging from food and drink to clothing, furniture, plants, books, and pets. Wildlife organizations have often accused some vendors of involvement in the trafficking of rare and endangered species, such as turtles, tortoises, and birds.
Singapore Airlines has offered compensation to the passengers of the ill-fated flight SQ321, which experienced extreme turbulence on May 21st, resulting in one death and several injuries. The compensation offers was sent out on Monday and confirmed by SIA on their official Facebook page on Tuesday. The company said, for passengers who sustained minor injuries from the incident, we have offered US $10,000 in compensation. For those who sustained more serious injuries from the incident, we have invited them to discuss a compensation offer.
The airline said those who sustained serious injuries requiring long-term medical care were offered an advance payment of $25,000 if they requested financial assistance, adding, "This will be part of the final compensation that these passengers will receive." The Singapore-bound flight left London on May 20th. About 10 hours after takeoff, the Boeing 777-300ER aircraft experienced extreme turbulence after falling into an air pocket in Thai airspace. According to investigators, the plane plunged 178 feet in less than 5 seconds, causing injuries among the 211 passengers and 18 crew members on board. Singapore's flagship carrier said Tuesday that all passengers on the May 21st flight will receive a full refund, including those who were not injured.
Mining firm Rare Earths Norway says it has discovered Europe's largest proven deposits of highly prized rare earth elements, potentially reflecting a watershed moment for the Nordic country and the broader region. One of the few deposits not owned or controlled by China. The discovery of continental Europe's largest rare earth deposit is considered a welcome boost in Europe's bid to break China's dominance in rare earths. Demand for rare earths and critical minerals is expected to grow exponentially in the coming years as the clean energy transition picks up pace.
Rare Earths Norway said a June 6 statement that a mineral resource estimate at its Fen carbonatite complex in the southeast of the country boasts 8.8 million metric tons of total rare earth oxides, trios, with a reasonable prospect for economic extraction. Within the trios, considered vital to the global shift away from fossil fuels, the company says there is an estimated 1.5 million metric tons of magnet-related rare earths that can be used in electric vehicles and wind turbines. The discovery eclipses a massive rare earths deposit discovered last year in neighboring Sweden. CEO of Rare Earths Norway Alf Ristad told CNBC that the discovery at Fen represents a great milestone for the company.
And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Kato, your host. I'll see you next time.